Hey guys, so today I thought it would be fun to walk you through my journey to leaving corporate America and becoming a freelance copywriter, replacing my corporate income, being able to travel the world, living and working in South America and Europe, and doubling my corporate income within a few months. If for those of you who are working and who are thinking there's got to be more out there, there's more I want to see, there's more I want to do with my free time, but you're scared to either leave your position or wondering how you're going to make ends meet, wondering what would even be a way that you could do it. I've been there. I tried so many different paths to finally getting to this point. And so I just want to talk kind of casually about what that journey was like in the hopes that it can inspire some of you out there or just make the road a little bit easier, faster, more profitable sooner than it was for me. So I was really starting to think about leaving corporate America because I wanted more fulfillment and ownership of doing my own thing. I just felt like there was so much of the world to see. I felt like I enjoyed the work day to day, but I wanted to do work that felt more meaningful to me. And like I'm just someone who I felt like I got bogged down a lot by like the office politics and gossip and heaviness of it all, just being tied to emails, at all hours of the nights and weekends. And I'm someone who's like overachiever in the sense that, I'll do whatever it takes to get that promotion and I'll work hard and I'll show up early and I'll stay late. But I kind of just started to feel like, why, because I was working so hard just to get the next promotion and almost to just take on more responsibility for something that I wasn't that passionate about in the first place. It was like only just to work harder for the same paycheck every single week or month. And so I started to just get these inklings of like, could I build something else? Like, could I do something else that would give me that freedom to be my own boss and set my own schedule and choose the kind of clients I had and the work that I did in the world? And so I just started taking classes in my nights and weekends and wondering what else might be out there for me. At that point, I thought, okay, well, if nothing else, I'll just fill my evenings and weekends with things that are fun to me. And maybe my life will just be commuting, going to work, getting home, doing my hobbies, and that's about it. But I started to just piece together how I was learning about wellness in my free time, because that's another interest of mine. And I just thought, could I do some coaching with this? Like, could I build my own coaching business? I was so passionate about the topic. And for me, I started to feel like maybe this is a way out. Maybe this is a way to earn money and support myself outside of the work that wasn't really doing it for me. Right. And so I started building a website. I started taking a million courses and videos and looking up what I might need to actually build this business. I learned all the legal things and got everything in place and just let my company know that I was gonna go for it and gonna try it. And they were really kind and supportive. I'm probably skipping over like so many of the nerves involved in doing it. Like I remember it took a lot to get me to that point because for those of you who know me, I'm a cautious person. Like I'm not someone that's just gonna go take risks left and right. Like I like to know what the next step's gonna be. I like to feel secure. And so there was a lot of back and forth and a lot of just what's going to happen and how am I going to pay for it? And what if I have to go back to corporate America? What if I just fall flat on my face and I can't pull this off at all? So there was a lot of fear around that. But eventually I just felt like I would rather live with the regret of knowing what happened than live with the regret of not knowing and never making a change. I knew what the next 4 years would look like if I didn't do anything different, but I didn't know what it would look like if I actually went for it. And so I almost think it was just the pain of that felt stronger at a certain point than the pain of staying where I was and knowing what was to come forever. So I did it. I took the leap. And I mean, the first day out of corporate America, I just remember that feeling of like, do I work in my yoga pants? Do I like go to a coffee shop? Do I make videos, like write blog posts? What do I do? It was so thrilling and it was so exciting to me that carried me for a long time. But It wasn't long until the financial reality of if you are not working for someone else, you are the only one that's going to make money that month. And you are the only one that's going to pay rent and pay your bills. And I had some savings saved up. And so that sustained me for a while. And I would get clients here and there. And so that would sustain me a little bit longer. But it was hard. I mean, in the beginning, you don't have any brand recognition. And so you're not getting paid for things like setting up your website and doing your social media posts and your blog and increasing your SEO traffic so people find your website and speaking gigs. Like you are doing all of that stuff for free. And so you're spending a lot of your day not getting paid for it, except for that one little hour you might be with a client or sell an ebook here and there. And so that I feel like was kind of a rude awakening where I had much higher hopes of how quickly things would fall into place. And I mean, I definitely had launches where I would spend weeks doing it. I would do Facebook Lives every day. I would post and share from my soul, and not one person, not one person would buy. And so while that pains me to think about because I know how hard I was trying, and how much work I was putting in. I mean, I was doubling my corporate hours for very little like actual monetary payback, right? But I was learning a lot. I was like growing, I was stretching, and eventually, like years in, I did start to get traction. And by then, I had quite a bit of business debt, like tens of thousands of dollars that I'd spent following Facebook ad programs, or sustaining myself, or paying for, expensive coaches, that kind of thing. And so that started to feel pretty heavy on me. And I did start to get clients though. And so I started to fill up my days and I would do calls. And sometimes if we were traveling, like I would do a call at 11 p.m. at night because that's what worked with the time zones, or midnight. And, so there was kind of this dichotomy of, on the one hand, I was building something that I was excited about and I was able to travel and I was able to own my day and do whatever I wanted with it. But then there was this other side where I, was burning through savings. I was going into debt. And then when I finally started becoming successful, it started to feel a lot like corporate America all over again. And that kind of, makes me sad to think about because it's just like working so long to get to that point. And then all of a sudden I was like, finally started to get it. And I was just back in back-to-back calls and I was doing emails all the time and I was making myself available and people had my private number. And it was just a lot. And so I kind of just took a step back and started to look at, okay, like what are the parts of this that I love? Where are the parts where I feel free, where I feel excited, where I feel passionate? Because the thing is, like I mentioned, like I would work all day, like I would outwork anyone if I had to, right? But there was a certain point when I just started to feel like maybe there's another way of doing this where I don't have to sacrifice one or the other, where I can have it all. So I just gave my brain kind of the space to think about that as I kept picking up clients. And what I noticed is I really enjoyed the parts of the day that were completely mine, where I didn't have to get my energy up for these really emotional coaching calls, where I didn't have to do one after the other and then by the end of the day just feel depleted. I loved my clients. I loved making a difference, and feeling fulfilled in that way. But like I'm kind of an introvert. And so at the end of the day, for me, like it took a lot to recharge from that. And I just didn't feel it was sustainable day after day if I was just going to keep getting more clients. And so what I really found is I loved being able to teach in the form of creating and of writing. And for me, that renewed my energy. And so I thought, okay, like there's one piece of the puzzle. For another one, I loved having ownership of my own schedule. I loved being able to create a day that felt good to me. I loved being able to go and travel like to other parts of the world, like with this newfound freedom from corporate America. And so I thought, okay, like that is another piece that not everyone has the luxury of doing. But if you do build your own business and you are your own boss and you are making money through being creative, like you can do that. And so I kind of just started to play with that more and thought, well, what if I take on more of my like writing type of clients? What if I do this freelance work that I've been sustaining this coaching practice with, that I've been trying to use to make ends meet or to pay down the business debt? And what if I lean into this and I do this full time? And so I did. And within the first month, I had replaced my corporate income. I'd hit that number that I'd been dreaming about for years with this other business. The month after that, it doubled. And I really, really, really felt free. At that point, I was completely my own boss. I wasn't beholden to days stacked with calls on the calendar. I wasn't trying to keep my energy up until midnight for calls across time zones. No one had my personal number. Some of these might be boundary things too, but they're just so much sometimes part of just being helping people and being available. So, lessons learned and stuff on how to best navigate. But I just felt like I could pick and choose the clients that I was passionate about and that were meaningful to me. Um, and I could charge really, really good rates, and brands were happy to pay it. So here's like one of the things about copywriting that you may have heard me talk about, but there's so many people out there, who are copywriters, but a lot of them don't know this strategy piece, who can't offer brands, in addition to copywriting, the lens of understanding SEO or buyer's journeys or personas or other content strategies. And so they're not as valuable. But if you do, you're so rare and you can charge such premium rates. So I started getting paid $50, $75, $100 an hour for my copywriting. And it became very easy then to just either, work part of the day and then go travel and explore the other half, or to work the full day and really find financial security and abundance. And I loved that feeling of knowing that, like, I could always get clients, that I would never have to worry again or work months or years like I did in my coaching practice to get clients, that I didn't need to spin up all this crazy marketing, that I could directly reach out to people and a percentage of them would always bite right away. And I loved that I could work with a few people, and the better work I did for them, the more work they would give me. And to the point where I didn't have to do any marketing at all. I mean, I was completely booked, and I was booked so quickly that I ended up hiring a team of writers underneath me, and just really found I loved mentoring them in this. And I just thought, like, I'm onto something here. This is so, no one knows it can be this simple. Like, I spent years thinking that I had to go build this new coaching practice and this new business. Had I known, I could have on my own replaced that corporate income like that first month. My life would have been so different, right? Like, I would have not had to pay back all that debt. I wouldn't have just felt so depleted and so kind of ashamed and frustrated of like, why isn't this working for me? Or if I wanted to build that coaching business, I could have really gone full in and supported it even more, knowing kind of how to move the levers and controls of the hours and rates and everything with freelance copywriting. And so that's kind of brought me to where I am today. I mean, at this point, like, my husband and I, we've worked and lived in the most amazing cities and countries in the world. We've been in South America for months and Europe for months, and we've worked in WeWorks and, coffee shops in Amsterdam, and we've worked at little cafes in France. And it's just been, I feel so much freedom now, and so much contribution that I can do work and choose the clients that I'm passionate about. And I feel so much just excitement around telling everyone that this is available to them, that writing is a skill that you can learn, and content strategy is a skill that you can learn. It's not like you have to be gifted in this. This is a skill that can be taught. And I know that because I teach my writers at my agency every single day. And even beginning writers who come to me at the start of their career, who may have a whole page of edits at the beginning, within a few months of working together, at most, they're down to one or two little tiny edits that our editor makes. It's nothing. It's, style things at that point. So I know it's something that can be improved on and replicated. And the other piece, I think, is just that I learned so much in trial and error, and even in having this other coaching business, about how to get clients. And through being on the side of corporations where I know what I'm looking for to hire people and freelancers, And then now that I've been a freelancer, I know what it takes to get hired. I just think that's such an amazing lens. And I love being able to share that with people and just say, here's how you position yourself. Here's how you help brands understand your value. Here's how you demonstrate it in your work samples, in your portfolio. And here's how you always have this steady stream of work so that you can go and live your dreams. Like if your dreams are to travel, you can do that. If your dreams are to have a family and spend 4 hours in the afternoon with your children, if your dreams are to just live a healthier, balanced life where you can take an afternoon off and go to the gym or enjoy your lunch, like that's all available to you. If you want to, always have financial independence, that's there for you. If you want to contribute, I believe good people do good things with more money. They're able to do more good in the world. So if you want to make a difference with your finances in that way, or just always have that security, or invest, like to me, everything in the world opens up once you have this opportunity. And so I'm really passionate about it. These days, I'm running a content marketing agency still with clients because I think it's so fun and I love working with them. I am teaching other people like what it takes to become a writer and to understand the strategy and how to get clients. And I'm traveling the world. I have a home base now. And then, a few weeks of every month or whatever amount sounds fun, we go out and we see a new city and we work from the road, and we're paid for every single email, call, writing that we do from the road. So it's such a fulfilling feeling versus spinning your wheels for months and years, like trying to get traction and trying to get people to pay you for your services. Now you get, paid $100 an hour or 75 or whatever it is, and work half of a day and get a few $100, or work the full day and get nearly 1,000. And it's just, life is so different. There's so much potential this way. So that's been kind of my journey from corporate America, somewhat flailing and starting a business, finally gaining traction and feeling like I was kind of back in corporate America by the time I had my calendar all full again, and kind of taking a step back, seeing what worked, and finding that it was freelance copywriting in front of me all along, and really ramping that up and seeing where that could take me and where it can take others. And so today that's my passion, and I'm so excited to share it with you. I hope it gives you some ideas, and I'll make sure to drop comments below if you're looking for how you can learn more about writing, the strategy behind it, how to get clients, and feel free to drop some comments as well, and I'll be sure to answer your questions. So have a wonderful day, and I hope this is inspiring to you and shows you some ideas of what you have the potential to do in your life and your career as well.